Hi, everybody. Just want to walk you through Unit 5, which is the last unit besides the culminating activity. Again, based on a historical period, 1982 to the present, but continuing on with the same considerations, right? This is your first and only compulsory history course, and so a lot of the skills you're working on are some basic skills that historians use all the time. So the first read the unit as usual. I should have written that at the top. You should spend 4 to 5 hours just reading Unit 5, reading all the context, and then focusing on Activity 4 and Activity 5. Activity 4 is again kind of focusing on the Quebec perspective, often because it dominates some of the political sphere. Um, and is the root of a lot of resentment, but also a lot of richness in Canadian history. So there's this activity focusing on perspectives, and the skill you're basically using is your ability to empathize, to use your imagination to imagine someone's perspective and how they're feeling, which of course historians have to do all the time. Without the imagination, it would be impossible to kind of go back in time and recreate things because oftentimes there are limited resources. There's a confusing part of it, so I just wanted to go over that. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, activity 4. So it asks you to do a bunch of stuff in Unit 4, and it looks at kind of what regionalism is in Canadian politics, why different parts of the country vote different ways and hold different perspectives based on how what kind of demographics are out there, what kind of economy is out there, what the needs of the people are, basically. And then it goes into perspectives about Quebec sovereignty, which is whether or not Quebec should separate, which comes up every once in a while in Canadian history, that the French want to be completely independent. So down here, when you're finally doing your image analysis, it asks you to find an image and generate a list of various perspectives. It's kind of confusing. Just make sure you know that you can go into this little section here, flashpoints, and find an image, and you could use one of those. You can also find your own, and then the rest of it, I think, is pretty clear what you need to do. But you will not be able to do this assignment unless you have a pretty good understanding of the Federalist and Separatist voices. Um, and the rubric will help you as usual. And then Unit 5, I guess the important thing for Unit 5 that I want you to think about is, critical thinking is important. It always is in English, in every discipline. In history, that looks a lot like sorting through facts and ordering them from most significant. You're always weighing evidence, and you're always weighing perspectives against each other to come to some sort of conclusion and some sort of thesis. And you did that from the very first paragraph you wrote in this course. In this case, it's a worksheet. Let me just pull up the worksheet here. So it's Unit 5, A5, Canadian involvement around the world, what makes me proud. So it asks you to brainstorm what you think, your thoughts to begin with, and then to do some research. So the research is where you get a bunch of facts, right? And then it asks you to make some sort of evaluation. And then at the end of this, it's going to make you use your critical skills and justify your response. So select one of the conflicts, crisis from this activity that makes you proud of Canada's involvement to conduct further research into the consequence effects of Canada's response. How does it fit into your criteria? Explain your choice in the paragraph below. So again, well-ordered paragraph, thesis, justification, concluding thoughts, and again, is evaluated based on whether or not you use your critical skills. So that's Unit 5. That will, again, just a sample size of a much larger course. We only have 10 assignments, and then I will be posting a culminating activity next weekend, which you'll be doing the last week. There will be no exam. All right, guys? Enjoy and do your best. Please email me if you have concerns.